Oh, um, oh, we're here. Oh, here
Yeah,
we are again. Okay,
we just like it. We in.
we in. It's great.
We're
Yeah,
live.
welcome everybody. All three of us who are here. Um, so yeah, today we are going to talk a little bit about what's going on with Andor, and I haven't even watched the first trailer, so I didn't know there was a new trailer. So we're gonna watch that, and we're gonna check those out, and then we're gonna talk about the release date.
I watched this trailer that just came out like while I was at work, so I have not analyzed it yet. This will be my first deep dive. I'm hyped.
Yeah, we'll take a look at it. We'll dive into it a little bit and into probably both of them, and then we'll talk about it, and then we'll discuss. The release date has been pushed. I don't really think anybody cares. I mean, I don't care. Number one, we're just going to start off with that. Like, I don't really care that things got pushed. It doesn't really matter to me.
I'm a binger, so like the 3 episodes at the same time.
I mean,
I'm in. I'll
they are
wait. We got
obviously,
She-Hulk, I think, anyways, right?
you got She-Hulk, you got the Targaryens, the Mother of Dragons, House of Dragon. You have the Lord of the Rings show that everybody's crying about. So here's my take on this. Let's start there. Like, here's the issue. Everybody's talking smack about the Lord of the Rings show, saying that it's not canonically correct, let's say. And it's,
There's a lot of that going around.
all I hear is a bunch of whining about that show, right? So for me, I guess that's the first show that, well, why would Star Wars try to compete with that when everybody's talking smack about it? Number one, right?
Mhm.
So for me, that's the first thing is who are they? I mean, who are they competing with? Let's be real, right? They're competing with Lord of the Rings, House of Dragons, and She-Hulk. Well, I don't think it really matters.
Yeah, there's a lot of like mixed. I feel like there's a lot of mixed reviews all the way around and a lot of fandoms, man. It's a very weird time. There's very few shows that people are like hyped, 100% hyped as a fandom.
Yeah, it does feel
All
a
the
little.
announcements for Marvel, even people are kind of underwhelmed by some of it. It's always something to complain about, like mutants. Like we didn't get enough mutant announcements.
It's always something to complain about. I couldn't agree more. I kind of feel like that's the huge issue for me is that, okay, so everybody's complaining about She-Hulk. Oh, She-Hulk's gonna suck. Okay. And then they're complaining about the Lord of the Rings show. It's not authentic enough, it's not good enough, it's not this, that, or the other enough. Okay, moving on next. Then you have House of Dragons, which I gotta say, I'm honestly binging Lord of the Rings right now in a ridiculous fashion. So yeah, I'm all about that show. I think that show is gonna possibly be fantastic, but I'm sure there'll be some complaints about that, especially having female lead characters. So I think that there's going to be the wokest stuff and this all that shit that they all spew out of their vomit holes. And so for me, I feel like they weren't really fighting on competition. I feel like this is more of a more of a necessity move rather than just a strategic move. Would you agree?
Say it one more time.
I feel like this is not a strategic release. This is not a like, oh, we're gonna push to get away from those shows and let them have their day. No, this is for me, this is a needed move by Lucasfilm to either remedy an issue, something they saw on the
Some
last
polishing
or correcting
right.
potentially. Which do you think it could be?
I mean, I think it's very plausible to be a little bit of both because they know how hypercritical fans are of this stuff. And we have Rogue One, so it has to track with Rogue One. There's like a Rogue One prequel book, Catalyst. I think it has to track with that as well. Call me crazy. I think a book should kind of mesh with this stuff, especially if it's... I mean, the book is the first stuff we have of the things that were happening behind the scenes that weren't in the movie. So it's definitely going to touch on some of that. I feel like I would like
Well,
to see some other callbacks to like even I was hyped to see ex Chancellor Valorum in the trailer.
well, I mean, there's a lot of, I
So
mean, there's a lot
weird
of
like prequel
cameos.
characters.
All right, so let's
Mhm.
just let's not
Yeah, let's do
let's
it.
not let's not go any further without let's pull up this little guy. Oh, look, it's us again. Okay, so here's the trailer. We're gonna go to the let's try to get like, oh, there's old. Okay, here we go. This is let's go to the official Star Wars, or the official Star Wars,
Now pause because that was the old one, I think.
No,
There's
no,
the new
yeah,
one.
I'm
Yeah.
no, I actually went to their
It's
to
that
their
featured one at the top.
to the, so this is the new one, right?
Mhm.
12 hours ago.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep.
So we're probably going to get struck for this. So whatever. We'll see. I mean,
Yeah.
we'll play it in chops. We'll chop it up.
Or turn the volume down a little bit. A
All right,
little bit.
we'll turn the volume.
Everybody's seen it at this point.
I mean, yeah, well, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't
We
matter.
can just go
Honestly,
through it, man. I'm
it doesn't
down.
matter. I don't care.
Mhm.
They can yell at me till they're purple. I'm a
All right,
nobody.
I'm down with it. We already got rebel bases. Leaving the atmosphere, you think?
No, landing, dude.
Mm.
To steal from the Empire?
Oh, perfect. It's got closed captions. I don't need the music.
Oh yeah.
And honestly, I like seeing all the words anyway.
Yo, so as a kid, did he just take it upon himself?
Yeah,
He's very young.
I kind of gather. So he mentioned some, and this is like you were saying. So we'll slow this down. Everybody's already seen it anyway. So basically, he mentioned some stuff. Like you said, we're gonna let's see. I like it like this better. Yeah, I like it like that better. All right. So at least for conversation time. So he mentioned something in Rogue One, right? He's like, I've been doing this since I was a child.
Yeah,
right?
6 years old.
Since I was
He's
6
older
years
than
old,
6 right there too, even, I think.
I've been fighting this fight, right? And so for me, that is like, we've talked about this in the past. It just kind of tells me that number one, he was a separatist, right? In the war, in the Clone War, his family was a separatist.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sorry, no. Because he was getting shot at by the battle droids. So he was actually, yeah. So, regardless, he's alive during the time of this whole thing. He's on a separatist planet. He's fighting against the Galactic Republic. Then things shift. He's still on the wrong side because now he's a rebel.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And then he grows up and he's fighting the Empire his whole life until he dies getting the Death Star plans. So he's a rebel before they were rebel. Well, I mean, I guess they were always kind of rebels. They were separatists, but he's been at this since early on.
It's going to add so much context to how pissed off he was in that moment at Jyn Erso. And how she could ruin everything by not taking it seriously.
Well, and here's my thing, because we know. Okay, so let's get into this, and then we'll go back because there's more. There's more.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we'll
to steal from.
Right, so I mean, this looks like it almost looks like either there was an abandoned separatist base or an abandoned
what this also reminds me of just now looking at the shape of this is the hole that they shot the proton torpedoes into, the Death Star opening.
Oh, really?
Wasn't it the same shape?
Well, actually, I was going to say this. Yeah, I don't know why he's lurking. He needs to. This reminds me of where they found the Stardust cartridges and the information on the Death Star plans when they're climbing up that that's kind of what this reminds me of. But anyway, so
Proud of themselves.
we get some of that. We're going back to here's another thing. We're going back to Coruscant. Right? That's another big thing for me is everybody always
hyped about all of this right here.
Right? Everybody wonders, right? Because even Palpatine in the original A New Hope, he says, or I think Tarkin says, the Emperor has dissolved the last of the Imperial Senate.
Have we ever seen this angle? Did you notice the floor?
I did.
Did you notice the floor?
But that was the similar symbol for the Republic, though.
Okay.
I mean, look at Cody, look at Jesse's mask, right? Jesse's helmet. Crazy, dude. It's not much different. They changed it very little from Republic, but yeah, I mean, the angle of this is sick. The fact that we never go back to Coruscant on any of this, right? None of this. And then everybody always wonders, well, we get to see, a little bit of the Emperor's palace here and there, but not much. But now, like, are we going to get to see more of Palpatine, not as Sidious, but as Palpatine again, playing the game? Or is he at this point like, I'm deformed and done? Now I'm just in my hood all the time and I'm Sidious. Like,
no, I think they go back.
So like,
dude, like, we have a timeline, right? It's going to take place over 5 years. And the first season.
But are you really KG? I mean, come on, man. Come on. Let's talk about that for a second. Why so bummed? Because you're not really, I mean, yeah, we're missing it by like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, but you're getting all those episodes jammed into one weekend. So we're going to have so much to talk about that first week because we're getting like, what? I don't know. Let's just say there are 45-minute episodes to be generous. Right. Even let's say
how many total episodes?
12.
So 3 episode arcs. I mean, we're going to get an entire story arc and then we're going to be like, yo, what is next? So we were just talking about how far back it's going to go. I hope it goes way back. The first season's supposed to cover the span of like 3 years or something, or like first season covers a span of multiple years. And then every season after that is supposed to be a year. Now that is just early rumor potentially. I don't know if I can confirm who said that, but
well,
go way back.
Let's keep going. We've only gotten 29 seconds, not even 29 seconds in. All right, so we get some of the Senate.
So fat and satisfied. They can't. That's someone.
The wardrobe too, like.
So this looks like I mean, as crazy as this sounds to me, this looks like a Dark Trooper motif. Right? Like this looks like that whole like experimental site kind of stuff. So
would ever get inside their house.
And then there's Homeboy and he's an Imperial right here, right?
Yeah, and the dialogue meshes up perfectly.
Well, and so this is very similar to Old Girl in Kenobi, right? This is more of the Imperial, not even Imperial spies. These are straight, double agents. They're playing. They're playing the game. I mean, not even they're just playing single, but they're infiltrating. That's the word I was looking for.
Throughout this, it kind of seems like, well, we'll keep going through this. The homie that talks to him here, when he meets the guy from the rebellion.
So what was his name? Luth? What was his name?
Come back a little bit.
The Empire is choking us so. The Empire is choking. Cassian Andor.
Luthen.
Okay.
So that's Luthen. So now, is this supposed to be the dude? Again, I'm awful with names. Is this supposed to be the same guy at the beginning of Force Awakens?
No, that was Lor Santeca.
Okay, copy that.
Yeah.
I'm bad with names, so I'm just
you're good.
I'm just trying to put into context how old these mother.
This is what we do. Yeah.
Right.
The Empire is choking us so slowly. We're starting not to notice.
That line.
What I'm asking is this: wouldn't you rather give it all
Yeah, so it's like, was this guy recruited while he was already in there?
Oh, dude, that ship, bro.
Yeah.
That looks like artwork. That doesn't even look like CG or nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like straight artwork. Yeah, I mean, obviously it looks like he was recruited, but it seems like he was pulling off his own missions for
That's what I'm saying,
a large
dude.
part of his life, right? I mean,
If he was already ready to give information to the rebels that they needed, and he'd been in that shit since he was 6, like that's where he was. He wasn't actually in the rebellion until he was older.
yeah.
If he grew up in the Empire,
Well, it
wild.
seems like it. I mean, it seems like he grew up as nothing. It seems like
Mhm.
he's like a almost like a Mowgli, right? Like a jungle rat.
Get himself into the academy and just be trained as a kid trooper, or however they took him from their homes. Like, he
Well, I mean,
just
at this
stowed
time,
away,
well,
and then
the Empire was consignment at this point.
okay,
This wasn't the First Order
enlisted.
that took children. These were
Okay.
consignment enlisted, like in Solo, right? So Solo went in and volunteered. That's where the Empire got
Okay.
their awful force. That's why they went from
Yes.
those elite
Yes.
clones to stormtrooper that can't shoot shit. But even still, I mean, you see him going through, you know, I mean,
That's just him getting off Luthen.
okay.
They're riding on a ship together.
Oh, that's him getting off on a
badass
speeder.
ship, yeah.
Bring all the heroes I can get.
And I love that scene too of just the agriculture, the farming community.
Well, and so here's my thing, and this is what I wanted to get to earlier. So here we have Saul Guerrera, right?
Yes.
And
Love me some Forrest Whitaker.
love me some of that. But are we going to get a young Jin before he abandons her? Are we going to get a young Jin cameo? You know, because at this point, the Empire's is, solidified. I mean, I guess not. I guess it's everywhere. But where in this does the Death Star fit into this mess? Right? And the planning of it and the taking of, the Urso family, if I said that right. But I mean, this is, are we going to get to see that cameo, right? Are we going to get that callback to Rogue One? Because these are the people that made Rogue One and they're making this.
Does he have the boar gullet?
Right? I mean, so there's that shot that you were talking about.
Yeah,
right?
that looks so real. Like, even just there, that farm in the background with silos, like, shit looks like a farm.
Well, and then there's an X-Wing right there, right?
Dude, and this dude.
There's 2 X-Wings.
homie.
There's this dude,
2 tubes.
right?
2 tubes, but what is his real name? Is that what it is? 2 tubes?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I'm terrible with the
from
names
now on,
too.
we're calling him 2
Yeah.
tubes.
Well, I think that's what everybody calls it.
But I mean, there's 2 X-Wings chilling right there. So the rebellion has already begun at this stage in it, right? So they're starting to acquire things.
Well, are these caves recognizable too? Those hatches look.
Not really. I mean, I don't really.
Yeah, no, I'm bad at this stuff. I
don't
like the
really
black
know.
on gray.
I
though,
do.
the
That's what I'm
X-Wings.
saying, bro. That's like either that or it's like a dark brown. But I mean, that black on gray, that looks, almost as cool as Poe Dameron's. But I'm not gonna tease the sequel haters. Right. So then we got all these rebels.
For the greater good. Call it what you will. Let's call it.
And then you got.
Amazing.
I mean, he's not on the respirator yet, right?
Yep.
So this is way before Rogue One. Because in Rogue One, he looks haggard.
Yeah.
Right. In Rogue One, he's
limping.
He's got like he's like Vader, basically. He's like what Vader would have been without a helmet.
Bro, honestly.
Right. I mean, that's
Vader with much less tech.
Yeah,
the thing he had to keep.
I mean, that was the poor man's Vader right there, basically, right? I mean, he had all the secondhand tech that kept him alive. But I mean, really, the parallels between Vader and Saul are so similar, right? I mean, the fact, they met each other.
In some instances.
They met each other on the battlefield. They helped, he was there when Saul's sister died. Anakin was there when Saul's sister died, or at least around the battle.
These two actors working together, man. I'm hyped for that right here.
You know, the parallels between Saul Guerrera and Anakin are fantastic, down to the scarring and the mechanics that keep them alive. So I love seeing this character come back. And like I said, are we going to get that that Jyn Erso cameo?
That would be crazy.
Would
They do be casting the young callbacks to those characters, like
and
Leia,
I mean, who wouldn't answer that call? Hey, we'd like you to come back and play a character. Can we just de-age you a little bit? All right, cool. We'll see you. We'll see you in September.
Yep.
There you go. There you go. The Stanleys is laying it down. What up, Doe? Oh, it looks so dope. I don't know.
I think people are just upset about the issues being bundled together, and now you got to wait a little bit longer.
Yeah, I think they're just sad, but we'll get into some more of that. What up, Steve? And then here's the one I was getting to, the Stanleys. He had been fighting for 22 years non-stop. You would be tired too. He's right. He's right. You know. So yeah. So
War.
So that line.
You know, I mean, you see what appears to be, you know, the beginning of the
man.
You know, the
call
beginning
him a radical or whatever, but he knows what the Empire is. He knows, bro.
Well, he just knows what they
came
are.
To get down. They're not. Yeah, they're not there to play. It is war. And everybody thought he was crazy.
Jyn would be 5 years younger. That's fantastic because that actress could totally kill that role right there, like nonstop, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. If it's just because I'm comparing it to shows like Miss Marvel and She-Hulk, but I honestly think it looks dope. I think it looks dope, and I honestly don't even think we're getting the best chops of it yet. I think they're giving us like the scraps off the table. I think there's so much in this show.
There's going to be so much.
We're getting literally the meat that they're cutting off to feed to the dogs. We're not even getting the good shit, right? I mean, that at least that's my personal.
Yo, these guys with the goggles up.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I feel like this
down. That shit is cool. I like those helmets a lot.
But you've got stormtroopers. My thing is you've got stormtroopers behind them in the background, right? So
right.
Like, why are these guys like?
Which ones are the Expendables?
That's what I'm saying. Is this like? I don't know here. It's a little confusing. I mean, maybe these are the town's guard and they're like proving their fealty, you know?
That's actually not a bad call.
I mean, obviously they're in Imperial gear.
And there's a lot of planets that welcomed the order and protection.
Yeah.
Even the one homie.
Oh, there you go. See, these look like mud troopers, like Han was part of that. I mean, there were all kinds of troopers and stuff like that. But I mean, maybe this is town security that's glad the Empire's there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I mean, look at during Kenobi, you had the transport dude that was like, "Oh, thank goodness for the Empire, the good old Empire." So I'm just saying. Okay, so now do those look Republic? Those look kind of like Republic.
Clone. We're like in Clone Wars type stuff. Like
that's what I'm saying.
Callback to all this shit.
Yeah, this looks like potentially Clone Wars time, which was when he would have been a little boy, right?
There's fermenting out there, son. Pockets of fermenting.
Yeah, I mean, well, see, those are the guys that came off the ship, so it's not clones. Because this is what the ship.
These guys are like what you were just saying too, like pockets of resistance that this guy's talking about. So these guys are obviously loyal too. Right. People are being forced to choose sides, and we're gonna hopefully, like, they could do all these callbacks to these OT planets that we've seen in books and in comics, and then talk and then really get into the civilian populations that are there.
Right.
And they did have to choose sides. Like, they didn't have a choice.
No, there was no choice. It's and there really wasn't a choice. Even if they thought they had a choice, it was join us or die. That was it. It was join us or be eradicated. That there was
not
no
Samwise Gamgee.
It's probably not Samwise Gamgee. But yeah, I agree. I like this timeline. This is, of course, this is still straddling the, the Rogue One, Solo, Kenobi time frame. So,
further into the past, right after the vote of no confidence, bro.
Well, we're gonna get that in Bad Batch. We're gonna get that. Now, I haven't heard anything about Bad Batch being postponed.
Nope.
So I
or
think
postponed. Neither.
so I think we're gonna might get that in the right time. So we'll get more into this. Okay, so
Some of
that's
these actors too, like the homie with the scruffy beard there, he looks familiar. Like these are gonna be people like remember they threw the one guy from Predator in there
well.
into the
This
Mando
kind of
show.
seems like Braca,
Both
right?
of those guys look familiar.
This kind of seems like scrapyard building Imperial ships. That's kind of what this feels like.
You said Sam Witwer. No, I don't think it is him either. There was a guy that was very similar. I thought he was talking about the guy with the Irish thing.
I think you're thinking of Sam Witwer is going to be the survivor in and that's going to be Starkiller. That's my current Sam Witwer theory.
Yeah, did they?
So, do we know what year the show takes place? It takes place all over the goddamn place. It's supposed.
Well, it's consecutive though from when it starts.
Right, but I mean, it's going to be throughout the span until his death, until basically he meets Jin. I hope,
because they flash back to when he's a kid and stuff too. So.
Hey, look at it this way: we know 100% what the outdate is, right? We know 100% where this story ends, right? This ends with them dying together. So, but yeah, this gives me a very scrapyard, Imperial scrapyard vibe here.
Yeah, 5 years before Rogue One,
and then
this A New Hope.
Kind of
it'll overlap with Rebels stuff too.
Does this kind of scream Coruscant? I mean, I feel like this
depending on how far down.
That kind of feels like the elevators that we see Ahsoka take in season 7 of Clone Wars.
A lot of people said there were callbacks to Clone Wars.
So this kind of feels like Coruscant potentially. And obviously that's...
You're in my net.
Yeah, exactly what Alan Copeland said. There's your details.
Okay, so here's a breakdown for you, Braden. Season 1, year 1. Season 2, year 4. There you go.
4 years total.
4 years.
Second season is gonna basically turn up the heat.
Oh shit! Don't stop on level 1313. You might not come back out. Oh, it's scary.
That was a video game too, right?
It was supposed to be. That was supposed to be the bounty hunter game. Okay, so here's some strategery going on with some Imperial scum.
Does that town look familiar at all?
No, not really.
The dome there seems important.
I would think the spire looks more, but it looks like it's not anything I recognize.
Yeah, not a lot going on there.
Are you a fish? Or are you a thief?
Oh, so see, I love that he's like the hair is old and silver, and he's looking more weathered. Lothal, I don't think that looked like Lothal. Lothal was a lot bigger. And I thought Lothal was a lot bigger. But yeah, I love that they're showing the progression. Like I said, we're just getting bits and pieces of the whole season.
You're slipping.
Yeah, see, it looks like he goes from being like a smuggler or whatever to
this is his front. This is his front.
Yeah, this is his him being a good Imperial.
Yeah.
Right.
Go back to that scene real quick, or let it play forward a little bit.
I was curious about him like putting on his rings.
You
want to go?
I wonder if there's anything to those rings. There was a box of them.
Data rings,
some kind of gadgets. Yeah, or like
if he's rings or something like that.
What if he's a slicer or something? Some kind of hacker.
Maybe, yeah.
And that's why he's been able to get so high up. He definitely looks like he's high ranking amongst these fancy.
I mean, let me put it this way: he's wearing nice clothes. That wasn't a thing usually during the Empire, unless you had power or pledged your fealty.
Are you a fish, or are you a thief?
Yeah, so there's a bunch of those rings.
Obsession. We got some sweaty nerds in the chat. Did you know that?
Who are you talking about?
We got some sweaty nerds. Can I show you a picture?
Sure. Hit it.
All right. Hold up. Let's see if we can do this. Because Stan Lee, my man. This one's for you.
Oh shit, Stanley. What we got? Oh, okay, Lothal. I mean,
There's a
Lothal
little
was,
dome and a spire right there, bro.
but the dome was the Imperial dome. It
Look at this
was
thing.
that was an Imperial ship that landed. It wasn't part of the structure of the. I don't know. Here, we're gonna go back.
You can't tell me otherwise. It's Lothal.
Yeah.
No, I'm
I
just
mean,
kidding.
look,
Like,
dude, don't. I mean, don't tease me
look.
with a hair.
We could just have a different angle. We could just have a different angle from the table.
I'm looking for. Hold on. Let me see if I see. Oh, we gotta find. Yeah, it's like right here.
Yeah, go back to your trailer image. You guys tell me, man. I like this image right here.
You're in my net.
Pull it up.
Yeah, that I'm nah. Sorry.
Whatever. They do that shit on
Lothal's got like lots more spires and shit. I mean, yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what?
Okay.
No. I mean, look. If you look,
it's the past, baby.
Top. No. But look, if you look top left, right.
Pull up the trailer now because we've seen this for a minute.
It's sorry. I thought it was both.
Yeah. You're sharing mine still.
So okay, look at the spire on the left, right here. Look at this, and then look at this, and flip that, and on the left side of your picture, on the left side, it looks like
this one right here.
No. On the
this one right here,
right picture, far left corner. Looks like that could be it.
Some smaller sections of Lothal.
You know
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Maybe.
Okay.
All right, Stanley's. All right. You might.
I am going to.
right.
I'm gonna go.
I'm gonna give
75%.
I'm gonna
75%.
I'm gonna give Stanley the. I'm gonna give Stanley
not a hill I'm gonna die on, but
no. I'm not gonna die on it, but I'm
possible.
gonna give it to him. I'm gonna give him that. All right. So
I love it. Let's go.
Are you a fish? Or are you a thief?
Okay, there's
Look at the rings. I'm just saying, like this fancy little box.
You're slipping.
He's putting a bunch of them on though, so it's probably just for show.
Well, and this is the girl that's telling him he's slipping, right? So it's the same girl. So like she's telling him, hey bro,
they're underground together.
You're not
probably.
Yeah, they're on the same side, and she's telling him, hey, you're not doing as good a job as you think you are. So
yeah,
you know,
too confident.
You're slipping.
Oh, and then see that's what I'm saying, bro. I don't know.
He's meeting with Mon Mothma. Like
right
he's
in
playing
open
the
public.
role for Mon Mothma
In open public, but maybe look at the background. This looks like Coruscant.
And is that homie behind her the Imperial guy?
I don't know. No, I think that's more like her security.
Guarding her. Yeah.
More like her personal security. But I mean, think about it. This is this dude visiting Coruscant. This isn't his normal home, right?
Look at that whip she pulled up in too.
Oh,
kind of just see it a little bit.
She's like a baller. Right, like she's been playing the Senate game for a long time. Cheddar.
For sure, dude. That's like a town car, bro.
But I mean, look at this, right? Like, it's obvious that he's visiting, right? Because she's pulling up to his place, right? He's not pulling up to her Senate chambers or anything. They're meeting at his place. It looks like Coruscant. Obviously, it's Coruscant if she's there. So, you know, this
could
feels.
Be. I mean,
what
it's
planet?
Kind of weird back, and we've never really seen the ornateness of it.
Look at, even in this one, right? Like, look at back here in the corner. Like that looks like Coruscant Nightline in.
Bro, and this looks like she's the tinkerer.
Yes,
like she's making the gadgets back here. She's making the spyware back here.
I mean, yeah,
programming droids and shit.
Yeah,
I don't know.
She definitely looks more important than just some whatever. All right, so
I'm not slipping.
Okay, and that's him in his ship, right?
Yeah, that's the ship I was before.
See, and I like that line personally.
He just goes in. he like attacking them head on by himself? Like,
I'm not slipping. I've just been hiding for too long.
See, I like that shit.
yeah.
And he's taking out TIE bombers right there. Dude.
Yep.
Come on, bro. Like,
yo, hold up, don't move. Oh, look, there's debris coming off the front of that too, correct? The big ship. Does that look broken up there?
That's what it looks like. And that
Mm.
doesn't look like your average Imperial
what the
ship.
fuck are those?
What the shit is that?
Yeah, what are coming off the
What
sides
the
there?
shit is that? Like a jamming? Is that like a jamming
We're
vessel?
being jammed.
We're being damn. I wish I had that pulled up right now. We're being jammed. What kind of jam? I believe it's grape, sir. Yeah, I mean, I gotta find that now. But
Yes.
that looks like a
Looks messed
different
up.
kind of Imperial vessel right there. I'm just saying.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't like it.
I don't like it. I'm not a big fan of it, but we'll see what this purpose is.
ISB surveillance cruiser.
There you go. See, they're just there you go. See, the Stanleys is just
man.
mating every time we say something. Okay, that leaving.
As long as everyone thinks I'm an irritation, there's a good chance they'll miss what I'm really doing.
Mm.
And what are you really doing?
Oh,
Starting a rebellion. So this is
I want to see Mon Mothma playing the like eye candy, like just the pretty face, the non-suspecting background.
No, I don't think that's her play. I think that she,
but like not in the respect
Padme-
that she sits back, but she's going to be like,
oh, she's
playing every man in the room. I just feel like,
yeah, for sure. I mean, yeah, I think
from that line that she just said there,
it's more, you know, if they think of her as like the irritation in the Senate, then they don't really see her, you know, being a big part of the rebellion. So,
true, yeah.
That's kind of my thought is like the more they think I'm just an irritation in the Senate, I'm not politicking. Like they're not knowing that I'm fanning the flames of rebellion, right?
As long as everyone thinks I'm an irritation, there's a good chance they'll miss what I'm really doing.
What are you really doing?
See, and that's
what was
why
that guy's name? Tay something.
I did not see, but that's kind of why I think it, because at the end of the scene here, she's alone in a room, the doors closing, you know, like almost like master plan.
There's two other drinks there, like two people just left.
Right.
Like she just executed her plan.
Right, exactly. Right. So this
or maybe she informed people. Maybe that's her bringing people into the fold.
Either way, it works, right?
Mm-hmm.
So here we have her ship leaving wherever, right?
As long as everyone thinks I'm an irritation, there's a good chance they'll miss what I'm really doing.
What are you really doing?
Tay Coloma.
He's like, what the hell is going on?
He's like, what are you doing, you crazy vixen?
That's what I'm saying.
I'm gonna try to clip that. What are you doing?
I miss what I'm really doing.
Ooh,
What are you really doing?
troopers. Right there, man.
This is what rebel.
Who are you?
That's what I'm saying, dude. There's so many people in there.
Yo, and the homie back there with the
Keela?
Clea.
This
is what revolution looks like. The guy behind her had a crest that was shaped like a C, but it was like vertical. Looked familiar.
She look familiar?
Man, I don't know.
You gotta get inside, honey.
Oh man. There's a storm coming.
There's a storm coming, honey. You better get inside.
Feel it in my bones. Oh, we shouldn't. She's crying, bro. It's serious. She's serious. Star Wars is serious. Stop.
This is what rebel.
All right. Oh, okay. Oh, so are you thinking like Crimson Dawn? Is that what
I'm
you're thinking?
Like, yeah, some sinister homies back there. They always like to dress like. Look at the guy back there with the maroon and black. He's like third behind.
Right there.
Yeah, that. Why are you so shiny? But not.
This is what revolution looks like.
Hear that E11? I know that sound from getting shot at by Vader's goons in Fortnite.
Yo, whatever that cart or whatever that ship was is not meant to be driven down that tunnel.
I just like his line here.
I'm tired of losing.
Who is this Maz Kanata looking? Like, is this Maz Kanata's dad?
If Ochi of Bestoon and Maz Kanata and he's got 4 arms, total mutant. The first thing I thought was Ochi because he's got the ear things too. Man. He is a ugly SOB.
Oh man, he must be talented though. Okay, so who's he working on? Is that Cal Kestis?
Here we go. Stop. Shut up.
Is that Cal Kestis?
No. He'd be so. No. The timelines don't match
There's
up.
a BD1 droid in the back. Come on. I'm a
Does every ginger really have to be Cal? Come on now.
I'm a clickbait that shit later. Is Cal Kestis? Is Cal Kestis really in?
I mean, that guy on the table there clearly has a soul. Move on.
So,
but he's got to be important. This homie healing people up.
I mean, yeah.
And I'll also point out there is no modding going on here. This seems to be like an organic kind of situation.
Yeah. No modders. Don't get mad. Look, he's just hitting him with some.
Yeah, what is that? Jeez.
He's just hitting him with some like go to sleep juice.
Spinal fluid.
Like just go to sleep.
Spinal tap.
Go to sleep.
Yeah, but why show that little scene? You know, so weird.
Is this Rey's mom?
Oh no.
With the staff? Come on, look at the staff.
No.
Is this Rey's mom?
No.
Come on, that's another. Come on, let's clickbait that shit too. Is Rey's mom in Andor?
Is this Jakku? But when it had oceans? Has the staff been there the whole time? Oh man. Is that a soul patch or is it paint? Hold on.
Where?
She looks like Howie Mandel. Sorry.
So bad.
It's sick war paint. I can't tell. This. Hold up. Look at all the debris. Go back to like half a second. This explosion or whatever is going on, a whole planet potentially. You got to go back a little further.
This feels a little more like Kessel Run, bro.
Right here, dude. Look at all all that smoke, flaming things are headed away from. They're flying away from a massive explosion, or those are rockets. Like what is that?
Or that's the ship on fire. Because look at the smoke on the bottom left and everything. That's a ship
dude.
on. Like
go back and play this scene in full and look at all this shit flying by them in the same direction. They're flying along with those, and it's like massive pieces of debris.
Click. Okay.
Oh, no.
So that's the first trailer, right? Or that's the second trailer, right? That's the second trailer.
Yo, so they wouldn't do this, but maybe that last shot right there is the Death Star destruction, but people who did escape.
Cassian's dead.
But anybody else, I'm just saying, like, I don't know who's pertinent that they could introduce.
I mean, they didn't even try to get to relief. They were like, we're dead.
Yeah.
Like, let's just watch. Let's just watch.
And this is season 1, so that's supposed to be more towards the end of season 2. But
right. If anything, that'll be later, not like right now. Okay. So with that being said, let's go on to the next subject that I want to talk about. Now that we got all those out of the way, So here's the article. This is from the Bespin Bulletin. And basically, this is the article this morning that broke the release date. If you didn't catch the trailer on Good Morning America, this is who released it. So it reads, finally, a new trailer for Rogue One Star Wars story spinoff has officially been released after much anticipation and speculation. For weeks, people have been asking, when are we to expect the next trailer for Andor? And my response has always been the start of August. And once it was announced that Cassian Andor himself, Diego Luna, would appear on Good Morning America, it felt inevitable. However, Luna's appearance to debut a new trailer also came with some disappointing news. The series has been delayed from August 30th to September 21st.
It's a long time, bro. I can't even.
No.
I need some popcorn.
The teaser trailer for Andor released released at the tail end of May during Star Wars Celebration, something we exclusively reported would happen. And though it didn't show much, in my opinion, it was fantastic. It was a fantastic tone piece and gave me everything I wanted and expected from the first glance at the upcoming episode, Rogue One prequel series. The new official trailer is much more action-packed than its predecessor, but shows shots from the teaser, though expanded, glimpses of flashbacks of Cassian's childhood. I don't know who that is. What is that?
Stellan Skarsgård.
Okay.
Yep,
right.
he's the guy that recruits him. He's the homie from Thor, the Thor movies too.
Luthen Rail recruits the title character. Finally see Saul Guerrero, who was previously revealed to be in the series by Skarsgård earlier this year, and surprisingly former Chancellor Valorum,
baby,
along with much more. Though disappointing, Andor has been delayed from its initial August release date. The trailer reveals that the series will now debut with 3 episodes premiering on September 21st. Initially, we were set to get 2-episode premiere, but due to the delay, Lucasfilm has opted to count to 3. Though we are getting an additional episode, the delay is that less. And the delay is less than a month away. Well, in less than a month. I'm still some way disappointed, as we've been waiting on the series for many years, and we're so close to the finishing line. I have incredibly high hopes for the series, given the talent attached, and from what I've heard from various sources over the years, and I'm sure the series will deliver. If you want to keep up on the blah, 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 blahs. Okay. So that's the person that dropped this. Now, I feel like that is no big deal, right? I don't really feel like this is a big deal. Now, chat, get in. Feel free to comment and let us know what's going on. Feel free to get in the chat and let us know what you think. But does anybody really give a shit? I guess is the question. Does it really matter? Is everybody just crying because it's something that they can click? They can get clicks on.
We were going to get 2 episodes on August 30th, right?
Correct.
And then was the show going to start going episodically after that?
Yes, I believe it
right
was.
away with no delay, right? So now they've pushed it back 3 weeks.
Yep.
From that date.
Yep.
And sacrificed a week. So the show really got pushed back 2 weeks in their total schedule. Right? If we look at it like that. Yeah. So I guess, was it overlapping? I think it was overlapping. I think that probably has something to do with it. I mean, August 30th, She-Hulk comes out mid-August. So that's 6 episodes right there. Like, I think they are making room for She-Hulk, honestly.
I just feel like it's
short
not a competition thing. I feel like, and we'll get into this next, but I feel like this, this is more of a technical thing for me, I feel like, than it is a
Yes, then
than it is a
more to myself.
word I'm even looking for here. More than a I don't even know the word I'm looking for. I used the perfect word earlier.
It's not for scheduling purposes, not
Thank
for
you.
making room for competition between each other.
Correct.
It's for dialing it in, tightening it up, smoothing it out,
Reshooting something, revoicing something. I mean, look, I feel like with Star Wars, there is always the issue that I feel like sometimes they don't watch the final cut with the right people in the room. And there's a lot of yes men and women around, and they just tell them that it's all puppy dogs and unicorns, and everybody walks out the door. And maybe for a change, they're listening to us low life content creators like myself that say, do yourselves the solid and watch it one more time before you put it out there. And maybe they did that. Maybe they did that. And maybe they went back and saw something that wasn't right and went back and fixed it. Now, I personally believe otherwise. I mean, not that they found something, but I think this what I'm putting up now is a big part of the issue. So for me, this is a large part of the issue.
Before we move on to this real fast, my last point that I wanted to make on this is like, eventually these companies are going to have to understand that, like, fans, we can watch it, bro. You can put 2 shows out in one day. I can handle it. I promise. You can put 3 shows out in one day. I'll still make it happen.
And
like Wednesdays can just be the day. I don't care.
Bad Batch is supposed to be around the same timeline. We can do 3 shows at once. We're
y'all think these YouTubers? You think these YouTubers are gonna have a hard time putting videos out?
No.
God no. They're gonna quit all their jobs, their real jobs, to just
Well,
sit there and watch your content.
So I was watching some of my, we'll call them more elite channels that I enjoy watching. Some of the bigger ballers today, and talking about
professional YouTubers.
Their angers towards the pushback, postponement, if you will. And I mean, look, to be honest, if your issue and anger with this is strictly monetary for your purposes, I want to be rude and insult anybody, but fuck off. Right?
I think a lot of it is like, me personally too, bro. I'm sick of seeing Marvel win all the time, and Star Wars is just like taking their time. We're gonna ease our way into this.
Yeah, I just feel like it look, man, I
prioritizing the money though, really, if you look at it that angle of the She-Hulk show and what they think that could potentially do. And mind you, that show is getting hit with some criticism. So maybe they're scared of She-Hulk's performance more so than Andor, and they're trying to get Andor away from She-Hulk to give She-Hulk
and I don't
spotlight.
think this is a scheduling thing. I don't think this is they don't want to put things in the same time as this and that and the other. I don't think that has anything to really do with it. I think it has more to the fact that I think there's some polishing. I think there's some technical issues that are going on, and I think that the market is reflecting that as a whole. Because look, regardless of which flag they're flying, Disney owns both content. They own Star Wars, they own Marvel. So if you're working for Lucasfilms or you're working for Marvel Studios, you're still working for the umbrella that is the mouse. And right now, how many shows are getting pushed out at once? How many shows are being rushed back to back? How many shows are being released right now? And this is a huge part of the problem. Everybody wants more now, more now. This is part of the issue with that. And part of the issue with that is this. So Disney's new CGI obsession is hurting both Marvel and Star Wars. This is what I was talking about earlier. You and I were talking backstage. This is what I was talking about. This is a large part of what is going on in the Disney franchise, right? So what have we just seen release, right? So we've seen Thor.
Mm-hmm.
We saw Miss Marvel.
Multiverse
We've
of
had,
Madness.
Mom,
Mm-hmm.
and before that was Spider-Man. That was
Mhm.
all this year, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's four decent shows. Oh, and then Kenobi,
Moon Knight,
Moon Knight,
Kenobi, Moon Knight. Mm-hmm.
Kenobi. Let's call it that. Let's call it 6
Yeah.
projects so far this
Mhm.
year. On the slate, you have Thor: Love and Thunder, right? You have Andor, Bad Batch, She-Hulk. What else? What am I missing? There's got to
That's
be
it
one
coming
more.
up. You got She-Hulk, then Andor, and then it pushes out to like
And then
Ahsoka.
Bad Batch, and then that's
Mhm.
the year. So
You're
you're
gonna
talking
get
about
Quantum Mania movie and
talking about
Wakanda Forever movie.
10 projects released this year by Disney Plus alone.
Mhm.
This is part of the issue. There is so much content being created. And I'm going to go to the article first.
Yeah. No, you're good.
Disney's latest CGI obsession, The Volume, has had massive impact on Star Wars and the MCU, but the trend is currently causing more harm than good. This is by Timothy Bacon. Love the name, guy. Okay. There have always been technology trends in filmmaking, but Disney's current CGI obsession is hurting both the MCU and Star Wars. Whenever one film demonstrates the advantages of a new technology, the other movies and shows attempt to imitate it, usually without the same level of success because they're being made by production teams who aren't as familiar with the techniques as the people who innovated it.
Mm.
Take, for example, The Matrix, released in 1999. The movie was particularly noted for its innovative bullet time technology. I love that phrase, bullet time. The next few years saw a surge of entertainment deploying the same techniques. And by the time Matrix Reloaded hit cinemas in 2003, bullet time was commonplace. In 2009, the release of James Cameron's Avatar revolutionized 3D. And countless other directors tried to follow in his footsteps. Although 3D was integral to Avatar, its imitators often made the technology feel super flowy. Wow, is that like super catchy? Damn, superfluous.
Superfluous, I think, is that one.
Purple. Thank you. I'm
people are gonna, but I still think I got it wrong.
I'm gonna butcher. They're gonna
move
butcher
on quick. Move on.
Illiterate. Giving 3D a bad name. So,
no, but that's such a good point. Like bringing up.
Okay, so we'll stop there for a second.
Yeah,
we'll chit chat about this section,
bro. Yeah, the Matrix Avatar stuff.
Well, and look, I mean, go back to episode 1, episode 2, episode 3. 3 CG technology was new and hot, and they were using it to the best ability, right? George Lucas was killing it for the time. If George had the times of today and the technology of today to use all of these things together, the product would be insane, right? So,
agreed.
The fact that they're oversaturating the market with the technology, and I agree with this. I think that the reason Andor is going to be so much better is because it's shot in the real world. Some scenes, I'm sure, are shot on the volume for whatever reason. Possibly some of the apartment scenes using the background of the cityscape on the volume. But for the most part, most of this stuff was shot IRL on location, and it feels that way just in the trailers. Now,
dude,
look,
I still think to this day the featurette that they put out for Andor is the best content they have put out for the show. They tell you everything you need to know about that, bro. And the only thing I need to know is 200 named cast members, not extras. 200 names, guys. Like this is a big Star Wars show.
Yes. And so they're oversaturating the market with this technology and
all the practical effects.
And that's why Andor is going to be so good, because practical effects, practical locations, real
getting burned out,
real costumes, not CGI'd costumes. So something similar is happening again, but oddly, with just a single studio. In 2019, Disney's first live-action Star Wars TV series, The Mandalorian, deployed a new technology called the Volume, and it's proved a remarkable success. In this case, the technology is owned by Disney, which means, in effect, is far more concentrated. Unfortunately, this having a hugely detrimental impact on both Star Wars and Marvel franchises. So, we'll continue. The Mandalorian employed the Volume, a new technology developed by ILM, Industrial Light and Magic, essentially a replacement for green screen. It allows actors to perform in front of a massive curved LED screen showing photorealistic backdrops. The Volume reduces the need for travel because the crew can conceivably, sorry, couldn't see it, conceivably film scenes set in a desert on the same day they shoot other scenes in an Arctic wasteland. It's easy to see why Disney saw a benefit of this approach, a cheap alternative to location filming that was practically or particularly helpful in getting production started again despite restrictions during the pandemic. Absolutely. Right?
But man, I will tell you, when you're looking for this stuff, it is glaring. I remember the Kenobi show when he's cutting up the meat every time he'd go to work at that place, and they'd show the camera angle from where the boss is standing, and it's just those two scaffoldings going along each other. That's literally the whole set. It's just two pieces of scaffolding, the table that they were all operating on,
and
the rest of that shit was screen. Like, y'all could roll a boulder in there in the background or something. Like,
a crate dragon,
that's kind of closer to the Volume, but not on the same set.
Right.
They are cutting some corners, some pretty big corners on some of these
and
scenes.
that was a large complaint by a lot of fans because because it didn't feel as authentic as we would hope it would feel. I was hoping they were going to pepper it in, but anyway, I digress. The actors have praised the Volume as well, simply because they prefer it to green screen. It removes the need to stand in front of a green screen and simply imagine something happening. Rather, they can act against a backdrop, allowing it to shape their performances. The technology is particularly helpful for creating alien environments, such as the Volume created environments in Thor: Love and Thunder, that don't correspond with any location on Earth and feel too complex for traditional sets. Now, I agree with that. Using it sporadically in a movie is a better way than just shooting the whole thing. Like, look, it works for Mando because they designed the technology for Mando. Basically, it was pioneered on Mando, so that creative team knows how to use it. I can't definitively say that every creative team that's using the Volume is the same team. I can tell you factually, the guys that work on Mando are not necessarily the people that work on Ahsoka or Kenobi or any of these other live action shows. So you feel Mando scenes, much like we did in Boba, that work on the green screen or on the Volume because they were working with that group and team. So, okay, let's see. The Mandalorian showrunner, Jon Favreau, has always loved working with new technology. He came to Lucasfilm fresh from the experience of making The Jungle Book, after all. He swiftly realized the scheduling constraints of producing a TV show would mean he couldn't conduct the same amount of location filming, and he had to find a substitute that was just as spectacular. That led Favreau to begin meeting with ILM, Epic Games, and production technology partners Gollum Creations, Fuse, Luke's Machina, Profile Studios, NVIDIA, and Ari. Let's see how much more is there. There's still a lot of this. Okay. Let's see. So, showrunner, the Mandalorian visual effects supervisor Rich Bluff explained in an interview One of the things we wanted to do is move away from green screens and make the scale of a Star Wars TV show work. And we knew that we needed a technology innovation to push the boundaries and provide a solve for the production. Lucasfilm and ILM began running tests in June 2018 and swiftly learned there were two keys to making the volume work: choosing the background with care so they didn't feel too distinct and remote, and ensuring consistent lighting to match the actors performing against the 3D backdrop. Some actors found the experience challenging. Bill Burr got vertigo because if the camera moves behind me, the stuff behind you moves. You get like vertigo.
Oh man.
Ah,
Well,
he's
yeah,
moving-
imagine they're like shifting the scenes
well,
and the
it's
whole
moving
screen
with
behind you is moving.
right.
Like a massive slideshow the size of the room.
Right. He believed this actually helped his performance in the fact that he was forced to focus so closely on other actors. So getting vertigo helped him, I guess. The volume was
Man.
a success for The Mandalorian, but unfortunately, it's now being rolled out as a little too widely. And the production teams who aren't used to it, sometimes the backgrounds aren't being chosen correctly, leaving them appearing flat and distant. In terms of, just like you mentioned for Kenobi, right?
Mm-hmm.
In terms of structure, the volume lends itself to scenes with a particular layout where the main characters are grouped together in the foreground, while those with experience are even improving their technique, as evident in the better visuals of season 2 of The Mandalorian. Many other directors don't seem to have forced focus sufficiently on lighting, meaning the performers in the foreground feel as though they have just been placed in the backdrop, right?
Yo, two things. The Mandalorian season 2, there is a one shot from when he walks in the room with the head, puts it on
Right.
the table, picks it up, goes in the elevator, goes up down the elevator. Either way, that is all shot with the volume behind, and they rotate the set as he goes. It's some weird description, but it's all a one shot, and that's kind of, I think, what Bill Burr was talking about, how they can shift the scene behind them.
Yeah.
Literally just move the camera, and
Yeah.
both scenes are attached like back to back.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, like, maybe you can speak to this, but they're painting the picture in my head that like Disney's forcing the technology to be used because of the budget or something, or is it like they're pushing it out into all of these production companies, but like, why? What's the real, like, is it because it's cost efficient, or is it because it speeds up production and they're trying to put more content out? Because it kind of
I
seems
don't
like it's being forced upon these companies
I don't
for
think
more or less,
I don't think it's being forced upon
or
these
if it's not
other
as innovative as they're claiming.
I don't think it's being forced. I think
Mhm.
that people want to use the technology that's new, right?
Right.
And I think maybe they're just overusing it, unfortunately. It just
Or they're
feels
like, get good at it, or don't be part of the production teams. Like,
let's see. Let's get back.
Mhm.
Worse still, when the cameras move and the background changes, the actors feel that vertigo Bird described and focus so closely on one another that it doesn't feel natural. The volume is a good tool in skilled hands, but it also new, meaning a lot of production teams are still only getting used to it. And there's a danger of overusing it. Some productions have rightly chosen to avoid it. With Loki, production designer Krasa?
Kesra, Kasra.
Kassra explained the volume just wasn't creatively super relevant for her show. In general, though, Disney Studios be pushing the volume, and understandably so, as it is an alternative to costly location filming. There's also the savings over set design as a background that's entirely CGI is created a VFX artists who aren't unionized and thus don't have collective bargaining for better wages and conditions. The volume's limitations are beginning to become visible, with Obi-Wan Kenobi criticized for an over dependence on the same scene layout and flat, muted lighting. Thor Love and Thunder has been heavily criticized for its CGI, too, with the actors feeling completely divorced from their environment. That's exactly what we were just saying, right? Like,
you're on that fake boat in Thor. It's just you, the hammer, and Jane in a front end of a boat, and everything else is the volume around you while you're just standing there floating through space.
I mean, yep.
Talk about vertigo.
I mean, looking back at the examples of bullet time after Matrix and Avatar's impact on 3D innovations are typically limited. And at first, the innovations usually aren't as good as the original. Directors, producers, and cinematographers are new to the technology, meaning they make mistakes the original crew avoided. The problems lessen as more people grow in terms of experience. What's more, studios gradually begin to realize it isn't always necessary and encourage its use when it is appropriate rather than pushing it wholesale. The critical response to Obi-Wan Kenobi and Thor Love and Thunder is probably part of this process, encouraging studios to avoid repeating those mistakes and warnings production teams that the volume is a tool rather than a master. There is, however, one major difference between the volume and previous innovations. It's largely being pushed by a single company, Disney. Although it's worth nothing that the volume was used on the Batman
Yes.
as well.
Yep. The backdrops for Gotham.
It means the mistakes are simply a lot more concentrated right now, particularly affecting the MCU and Star Wars. But various teams will gradually figure out when and how they should use the volume, meaning balance will be found. What a great way
And
to
Batman's kind of an unfair comparison because a majority of that movie is a very dark setting, city lighting, those reflections and that kind of stuff's pretty easy to do on those backgrounds. But yeah, Batman looked very Sin City, which was heavily oversaturated with effects, infamously so. But some of that article, man, is like Disney, you like kind of pushing the wrong type of innovation. And I'm curious what the Avatar film's really going to look like now. Like what this man's really going to push with the technology that we haven't even seen in these films.
Yeah. I mean,
someone's going to have some new thing that makes the volume look silly, I think, someday.
I mean, someday.
Soon, maybe. Sounds like it.
It just seems like to me this is the problem people had with Kenobi. I think visually people had a problem with it that leads more, and then you compile that with people having problems with story and yada yada yada. It just adds to the negativity that's surrounding that. Again, with Thor Love and Thunder, that's why I feel like Andor is going to be the best piece of content we're getting since the opening of Mandalorian in season 2 of Mandalorian. But I feel like this show will also solidify why we need to use the volume for certain things, and other things we need to get out there with a jib. We need to get out there with drones. We need to get out there and do location shooting and continue to do that. It is a cost savings, but in the end, is the savings worth the loss of fans or the backlash from fans?
Yeah. I think it's starting to show. The cracks are starting to go through the armor of the volume there a little bit.
Well, and this is what the ultimate topic of conversation was, is are you willing to take, because I watch Josh almost every morning, I'm gonna give him a little bit of his own medicine, maybe. He was complaining because it's a loss. They can't. He was saying today, Disney can't even come out with a hyped ass trailer without an L. And my thought is, if you need 3 weeks to make this thing shine like a diamond,
Do
take
it.
your 3 weeks, girl.
Yeah, dude. Do it.
Take your 3 weeks, girl.
Take 4.
That's how I feel. Take 4,
Hmm.
right? As long
Yeah,
as I
no.
get it,
Don't do that. Don't do that.
as long as I get it this year, I'm cool, man.
Yeah.
The same thing can be said about Bad Batch. If Bad Batch needs a couple more weeks, don't think they are because it's different.
Mhm.
Take your time. Same thing with games. Take your time. If you need more time, take your time and get it done.
I'm gonna
Stop
start seething if you keep talking about the video games, bro.
Stop trying to rush. Stop being
Yeah.
in a hurry, if
Yep.
especially with content. And I
And don't
feel
make
like
announcements
maybe,
if you're not ready.
but I feel like maybe they listened after Kenobi. Maybe,
Mhm.
maybe whoever Disney and Lucasfilm assigns to watch our garbage. And
Mm.
mainly, let's be real, they're watching Star Wars Theory, they're watching Nerd Theory, they're
Mhm.
watching Josh, they're watching the geeks and gamers because they got millions of people. They're watching them, right? But occasionally there's one loser that's watching me and us.
Hey, you
And
know, all those big channels are saying that stuff, but you know what? Also, Star Wars Obsession agrees.
I'm just saying. But at the
Yeah,
same
man.
time, maybe they're listening to what we're saying and they're
Mhm.
quality controlling their stuff without a room of yes men. Maybe there's people who are actually Star Wars fans who are actually open and vocal about, hey, this didn't work, or this VO sounded off, or this didn't look right. And they're fixing things to make it so you don't have more to complain about. That's my hope.
Mhm.
That it's not a scheduling thing. It's not, we don't want to be in competition with these shows. To me, it just seems like it's a technical
Yeah.
thing, and they just need a little more time.
And please critique your own stuff, you know? Don't let us be the first people to critique it. You know what I mean? Like
Well, that's just it. Exactly. And that's my and that's the whole thing is like, if you need more time, take more time. If it's going to make it better, take more time. Take another 3 weeks. Take the time you need. Oh, okay, so the celebration date that you were going to release that on, maybe that was a little, maybe there were people telling them, don't do it. Stop. Don't release that date. Maybe there were people doing that. I don't know. I wasn't there. I'm not in the room. All I'm saying is this is a good thing, not a bad thing. It doesn't matter. We're going to get 2 hours of Star Wars in one day instead of over the course of 3 weeks. It's going to, obviously they're correcting something or fixing something.
or
That's
like it's a 12 episode season. So like why you want to get it's got to be like a 3 episode arc, and they were just like, this is foolish. Why are we only showing the first 2 episodes of this arc? Let's
again,
finish it off.
there's so many reasons, but to me it
Yeah.
just feels like this is just something that, maybe they watched the first 2 episodes and we're like, we got to fix that. Do we got to fix that? Oh, it'll be like a
Not enough
TikTok.
of a cliffhanger
No
or
one,
something.
no one
Right?
will know. They'll know. No one will know. They'll know. Right? Like that's.
And now everyone's going to be talking about like, okay, if this is, dude, we could write it that when it comes out, the first things that everyone's going to talk about is like, now how would I have felt if I just got those first 2 episodes and they left that other one out for us to watch the
Or
week after?
how would I feel if
We
it
could
came
write
out
the
on
fucking
time
script
instead of
on
having that
dude.
negative taste in my mouth because it came out 2 or 3 weeks late? Right? Like, whatever, dude. I'm sorry. Sorry, not sorry, man. Like, you're getting good content this year. You're getting the hype show that's
Yeah.
been the underdog. We're getting it alongside Bad Batch.
We're
You'll
getting
also have,
new parts of the timeline, man.
I
New
mean,
parts of the timeline.
these 2 shows could
Mhm.
potentially intersect each other, right? Bad Batch could literally be going on at the same time as Andor, and
it all takes place parallel to Rebels. Like, let's go. Come on. Like,
I mean,
the delay is not affecting me, dude.
Doesn't matter.
It's the summertime. Go touch grass, guys. Like, Jesus.
Seriously, it's been raining. The weather's cooler. I mean, unless you're in one of those,
Come on.
poor towns that
It's almost football
flooded,
preseason. Like,
I mean,
come on.
things are good, man. Don't got to sweat it. But yeah, I mean,
Plenty of content coming.
Mike, the shill porter says it's no big deal.
Yes. Finally, a man of culture.
It's no big deal. It doesn't matter. And it doesn't matter.
Mhm.
the people that are complaining about it just want your clicks. They just want your
It is
clicks.
too humid.
They just want your clicks. It's an irrational to be angry or to be spiteful about this. It's irrational. So stop it. Just stop it.
Word.
Yeah, I mean, anything else? Any final thoughts on this issue? Chat. Feel free to chime in.
Yeah, chat. What's up, man?
But we've been going for an hour 20, so I feel like it's a good time to cut the cord. What do you got going on? You got anything going on this week?
I'm gonna be trying to stream more this week. I got the internet situation kind of smoothed out. We did run a test Fortnite little run.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm gaming over there. I'm really considering moving the gaming because I do want Hawks Holocrons because I do want Hawks Holocrons to get back into the theory crafting, and it really is just because I've been turned off. I'll be honest about theory crafting in general, and I get you. A lot of conversations that I have with fans that I'm friendly with turn into opinion-based stuff, and I just want to talk about theory, bro. I just want to be hyped about the interconnective stuff between the books and the comics and the canon and E.K. Johnston. If you guys just go on Twitter, dude. This shit's heartbreaking. Go on Twitter, look up E.K. Johnston and his feelings about the Ahsoka book, bro. It's just I can't.
Yeah,
I champion at my channel. Let creators create. And I'll scream that shit from the top of my lungs until the day I'm done doing YouTube.
Yeah, I think we should absolutely talk about that later this week. I think we should do another live, whether Wednesday.
Just come in and talk about the book.
Let's talk about
I don't know much about the book. You could educate me.
E.K. Johnston is always invited. I invite her every time. We're going to be talking about her sheesh. So if she, if anybody knows her in the chat, go ahead and send her this.
Blow her up on the tweets.
But yeah, I invite her every time we talk about her book or Ahsoka. If she wants to chime in right now because it's hot, she's more than welcome. But yeah, let's schedule that for like Wednesday. I don't know if I didn't see Matt having anything on way back Wednesday yet. So if he's not going to do a way back Wednesday,
then maybe throw it at before him too.
We'll throw it out before or after or whatever. So
pregame to the
so we'll plan on that for Wednesday. We'll try to do an Ahsoka stream. I've got like 6 or 7 things that I'm trying to do this week. Big week. Keep your eyes out on the channel. Big week. There's a build happening here right behind me. I've been setting up all day. Got things going crazy because there is going to be an official Lego drop that came out. I pre-ordered, so mine will be here by Wednesday. If it shows up tomorrow, the stream will happen tomorrow. If it doesn't show up tomorrow, it'll happen probably Wednesday daytime. But I'll just say it here first. We are putting together a BD1 Lego set. So the BD1 Lego set finally dropped. It is the first official Star Wars toy that has BD1 as the feature. So I don't even think Cal Kestis toys are official Star Wars brands are out there. If they are, they're statues with little BD1s. But this is official BD1 Legos. And so we're going to put that together this week. As soon as it drops, I have the thumbnail ready. So keep your eyes out. It will probably be a daytime go. But as soon as that drops, I'm going to tear that package open. I'm going to bring it up here to the studio, and we are going to go live and put that thing together because I have been waiting for so long for that.
Actually, you know what I forgot? I'm doing this, actually. I'm rereading Plagueis. And I'm doing this because of the Acolyte show. Bro, literally, like, just pages into this book is the death of Tenebris, who is Plagueis' master. Bro. And that is years before all this. So, like,
the Apprentice War in the first couple chapters is just...
That's what I'm starting to get into. Right. Yep, and it's like
they
are 100% going to pull from this book in the Acolyte show. I'm championing that,
dude. I think we're gonna end up streaming 3 times this week. I think because you're reading Plagueis, I think we got to do like Monday, Wednesday, Friday. In this bitch.
I'll try to crush as much of it as I can.
And the audiobook. If you don't have the audiobook,
I was starting to listen to some of that, but I like to pace myself because that dude will just go through whole scenes, and I'm just like, wait, what just happened? He just pulled the rocks down on him, and that was it. Like, Jesus.
Yeah, he will lose.
That's
you.
another thing. Like, not to continue to rant on, but the way that Plagueis kills his master,
bro.
if they put that shit in live action, people would have
Honestly,
been
it's-
pissed.
This could be the first rated R content. Star Wars. It's got enough. It's got enough blood and gore in Plagueis to make something really gnarly and really amazing.
Go dark eventually,
and I would love to see Star Wars finally go dark, dude. It would be epic to watch them finally go and just say, you know what, we're doing it.
Star Wars anymore.
We're doing it. It's not your little kid stuff. This is not for use, right? This is not for use.
It's past your bedtime. It's adult time now.
We're watching Star Wars. Cool.
Oh yeah, brother.
All your grumpy haters. Who's all my grumpy haters? Where are all my grumpy haters at? I love them bastards. Tell them to come over here.
Is your favorite YouTube channel reading super chats right now?
Bro.
Is that what's going on? I see a couple new faces over here.
Yo,
welcome.
And like, guys, get down and subscribe. I'm going to like I said, if the BD1 doesn't show up this show up Wednesday, I will do gaming streams. I have a gift card to give away. Definitely want to. You know what? Screw it. I got 2 more gift cards to get away. So make sure to get down there, hit the like and subscribe, and stick around because this week I am like, that's it. I'm done. We're blowing the roof off this place. We're gonna try to put out a bunch of content this week. I'm finally motivated again. So I'm just gonna throw some teasers out there. Howard Stern, BD1, at Cody versus Rex, Bendu. Now we're doing Ahsoka and Plagueis.
Guys, please keep an eye out for the Howard Stern thumbnail.
Please. It's gonna be out of control, dude. The Howard Stern one. I don't even know when we're gonna do that.
Thumbnail.
I don't even know if that's gonna be live or video. I have no idea yet. This week is out of control, but the thumbnail is just fire. I'm gonna get shit for it. I'm definitely gonna get an email or a tweet or something from somebody. You guys know him. I know him. You may not like him. I don't really give a shit. But the thumbnail is fire, and
man, I'm excited.
And there's so much going on, guys. So get down there and subscribe if you haven't already. Tell the haters they got to watch because things are getting fired up. Things are getting saucy. So Hawks, as always, coming to hang out with me. I appreciate it. And guys, we will see you the next time around. As always, get your pet spayed, neutered, help control the pet population. And we will see you next time. As always,